Hey guys, it's Kissy, and I wanted to do a quick reading. Well, maybe not quick, but I wanted to do a reading anyway. So, I hope my music isn't loud. Let's get started. This is going to be a collective reading. So for the collective, the soul group collective, and if it resonates for you, I'm grateful, and if it doesn't, well, I don't know what to say. And then it doesn't. You know, so no harm, no foul. It's just, this is me. And if it works for you, it works for you. I'm going to use my psychology cards because I love using psychology and hyper analyzing the human mind. So we're going to start with what is going on with the collective and what do we need to see? What is it that our subconscious is bringing to our attention at this time for us to observe in our psyche, for healing, for resolution, for observation, just so that we can get in touch with our highest intentions, so that we understand ourselves at the highest level. So what is our collective needing to look at this time? Dichotomous thinking. So dichotomous thinking is really about being very much in your head and being able to connect with your polar mind, being able to look at situations in both extremes and being able to observe that it's hard to look at things clearly when you're able to look at a scenario with a positive and a negative. So some people are strictly positive or strictly negative, or they just, they're fixed. This is more like a mutable energy. So dichotomous, I want to read it just because it gives you a definition and a funny little excerpt in the bottom. So it says, the practice of viewing situations, people, emotions, or thoughts in black and white terms. So not black or white, it's black and white terms. This is like a very Libra energy. You can look at everything on the scale from positive to negative, and as all or nothing, and also as good or bad, so extremes. And it's characterized by extreme activity swings, true believer syndrome. Like these are like the really religious people that are gonna, this is how it is. There's no way of looking the other way. There's no way of getting them out of that one-sided mindset. Binge dieting. So these are people that just have to go extreme in their eating to overcompensate for internal issues. Inability to compromise or forgive, shame, self-loathing, short-term relationships, or being clueless. I would say that you're unable to compromise because if you're very one-sided and you can go back and forth, then you're going to be screwed one way or the other. Basically, it's like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So these are the energies we're looking for right now, or not even looking for, that may be showing up to observe, like whether it's you or the people around you that are kind of swinging between highs and lows, or going between hypocrisy, I don't do this, and judging you for this, but not noticing what they're doing over here. So that's how I see dichotomous thinking. And I want to get more clarity on what's going on with the collective, so I'm going to go ahead and pull regular reading, okay? So what are the energies? Right now we have the Taurus sun, and the moon is in Cancer. So we're in our feelings, about our feelings. That's Dolo the Pilot Man. Shout out to Dolo. Hopefully we're listening to his wonderful esoteric advice on how to handle these emotional waves, because, I feel strongly that if we can stand true to ourselves and how we feel emotionally, in your self-worth, in your truth, you're going to reap the benefits. And this is like the culmination of your wealth, inner wealth, manifesting, the seeds that you're planting now manifesting. So I think that with the Taurus sun right now, we're really taking all these actions to create the best energies that we can create for ourselves, the highest vibration. Um, the emotional energies right now, though, they are definitely coming through symbolically as well as through people, and how the high levels of stress, emotional stress, inability to cope with emotions, because people are kind of like caught in their old ways of doing things, and knowing better is kind of creating the dichotomous thinking of your animal nature versus your spiritual nature. And it's like, okay, I know better. I don't want to react anymore this old same way, so I'm going to take the high road. I gotta go the opposite extreme. I gotta pull myself into the other aspect of this energy so that I can overcome this. Anywho, so let's see what's going on with the collective in terms of energies right now. We're coming into our own balance, looking within, because we're releasing a lot of the judgments that we were carrying, and we are creating energetic balance. We're able to come into a good balance between how we give and how we receive. And I see that we had a lot of concerns that were keeping us mentally tied, making us feel like we didn't really have choices, and we were feeling kind of stuck mentally. But I think once we connect to our emotions, and we're able to stay focused on what we desire, and really connect with our truest self, our truest nature, and surrender the need to control, surrender the need to hold on to, surrender the need to take part in those things that don't serve you anymore. You got to look at the reflection of everything that you've done in the past. You got to look at what you can possibly create in the future, and find the middle ground, find the middle balance between those two. But right now, you're being called to really sit with the depths of your feelings, sit with the depths of your emotions, because if you act on tumultuous energies, if you act on them, you're creating negative energies for yourself. And I don't think that's what we want to do going forward, as we know we're responsible for the energies. We don't want to lie to ourselves. Okay, I know we're afraid of getting, short end of the stick, or being misinformed, or not getting all the facts, or maybe noticing the people that are doing that to us, feeling like other people may not be aware of what they're saying. It doesn't match what they're doing. I don't know if you've noticed that it's got to the point where the communication is beyond the words. The communication is in the energies that are behind the words. The words are just a reflection of what's already happened. And I think for most of us, being present time, being able to see the different dimensions of energies and how they're flowing in and out of us, we're going to be able to acknowledge for others where the source of what's coming out of them comes from. In other words, we're in the habit of helping others discover what's going on in their inner realms, because we can witness it, we can see it it's more tangible, it's easier to understand. So communication can seem difficult only because people are becoming more aware of the vibration versus the frequencies. In other words, the thoughts and the communication that they speak versus the vibration that they're truly in. They have to match. You can't have this vibration and these frequencies are what's coming out of you. There's an unbalance there. And if you're sensitive to receiving that, you're going to know what people are saying is not what you're feeling. And what you're feeling doesn't vibe with what's being said. So that's me going on a rampage about energy. Sorry. I hope that made sense for some of you. So anywho, what will be the outcome for the week if we can maintain our positive, centered state of being? I see the beginnings of planting good financial security, starting things, projects that are really creative, and projects that come from your spirit, projects that are coming from your most inner spiritual deliciousness. It's like you know the part of you inside that's joy, like very Pisces energy, very childlike energies of awness of the beauty of life. And I feel like that expression that comes from that poetry that comes from within us when we're connected and tuned into ourselves, that's what's truly going to manifest our most divine gifts, our most divine spiritual gifts, our most substantial, concrete, tangible things that we can see and witness as fruits of our labor, of our truest spiritual labor, if that makes sense. So I want to see which what chakras are we working with right now, or which chakras are going to benefit us the most, or I gotta get tuned into what I want to really find out here. Which energies will best serve us at this time to be focused on, to create the most positive, the most uplifting energies for us? Our will. This is our third chakra, and it says, my body and personality are in harmony. I am strong, confident, and centered. I know who I am and the purpose for which I am here. I believe that if we can be centered in our truth and who we are, and realize that that is the gift, realize that that is what we're here to do. It's not about the money. It's not about go out and make that money. It's about really truly own your value, that the value in you is not the circumstances, it's not what you're doing, but it's the intention with which you're doing what you're doing, and how much you're truly putting into that, because that is what's going to manifest. I hope that made sense to you. I know I can speak a little symbolically sometimes, and maybe it doesn't make sense, or maybe too wordy for you. I don't know. I'm still discovering what my style is in terms of how to express what I want to share with everyone that I connect with. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made sense to you, and I hope you're keeping up with these good energies and not falling short on those waves that are coming at us. So good luck, take care, and we'll see each other soon, okay? Take care.